It's simple. Don't start now. Just don't start. It's cool. You don't need to drink, and you can stay shredded while all of your friends are getting drunk. Problem solved. We all love a good drink, whether you're a whiskey man, a wine in a bath kind of person, or you just like a cold one after a hard day's work. A lot of us use alcohol as a way to relax and unwind when we're in stressful times. But let's be real. I think you've noticed, just as I've noticed, that alcohol can actually destroy your physique faster than anything else. Now, I'm not here to tell you to give it up completely, and I certainly have enjoyed my fair share of non-anabolic beverages in the past, but what I can tell you about are the tools and techniques that I've used in the past to maintain my physique while dieting and also enjoying a little bit of alcohol during the process. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you exactly why alcohol can degrade your physique so fast and the tips that you can use to make sure that it impacts it as minimally as possible. So with that, let's dive right in. Now, the first thing we need to talk about is, why does alcohol actually make us gain weight? Number one, alcohol stops fat loss. So alcohol is a literal poison, and the moment that it gets into your body, your liver actually starts metabolizing it for energy, prioritizing it over any other food that you've eaten in the past. So even if you had a burger or fries to kind of quell your stomach and prevent the big hangover, your liver is actually going through that alcohol first before it gets to the burger and the fries. And while calories in, calories out holds true, the fact that you've introduced toxins will change the way that your body processes the nutrients, leading to a worse body composition even if you were eating the same number of calories from something else. Now, number two is hidden calories and how they add up. I'm sure when we go out, we love to take different kinds of shots with our friends. But the problem with all of these drinks is that they actually add up in calories very, very fast. Your average specialized shot, like a green tea shot wherever you go, can be up to 300 calories. This can add up very, very quickly. You take 2-3 shots in a night, and then you're already up to 900 calories. And especially if you're taking things with liqueurs, those numbers can go up much, much higher. So if you've been going out a lot with your friends and you're wondering why your physique is transforming in a bad way, it's very possibly because you're consuming all of these calories in one go. If you go out one night and you have just a few shots, then you can have 1,500 to 2,000 calories in a single day. And that could be undoing almost an entire week's worth of progress in your deficit. Now, the third problem that comes with alcohol is hunger and cravings. Alcohol is a poison, as I mentioned, and poison means cortisol increases and stress hormone increases as your body tries to fight off the invasion. Now, what does that usually mean? It means you get a lot of hunger and cravings. Ghrelin goes up and you start craving these fatty, salty foods. You're probably also out late, so your hunger cues are dysregulated, and you're most likely going to have reduced inhibitions, so you're going to make the wrong choice. I cannot even count the number of times that I just had one little sip of something and I was like, you know what? Let's go get Whataburger. We're forgetting about all the clean eating tonight. It's a cheat day. Whatever, guys. Cheat day. No big deal, right? Wrong. It's a big deal. It's going to mess you up. It's going to mess up your progress, and that's not what you need. But if you've already been drinking and then you go out and you have a juicy burger, some fries, a soda with all of that, and you think, oh, it's just one night, man, you're already probably at 2,000 plus calories for that meal, plus the 1,500 or more that you had just from the drinks, which means in that condensed time frame, you've now had 3,500 calories, which is about a pound of fat, and you've had it in the most unfavorable of conditions. And of course, number four is disrupted sleep and recovery. I've talked about on this channel, if you want to build muscle or lose fat, sleep and recovery are essential. If you are not sleeping, your stress hormones go up, testosterone declines, you're more likely to make bad choices, and you're more likely to have bad body composition. I've talked to a lot of people, and a lot of younger guys will often tell me, well, I feel fine the next day and I can go run. Just because you can doesn't mean it's good for you. You could dry scoop your pre-workout and then go out in the sun and not drink any water while you're completely dehydrated and go run a marathon. You could. Is it good for you? No, it's a stupid idea. So why would you do it? So after your big night out of drinking, you're most likely coming back, you're having poor sleep, you're waking up the next day, you're hungover, you're less likely to train, you're less likely to stick to your diet, and you're more likely to continue this cycle. This one night has actually affected multiple days and your motivation as your body tries to recover and you mentally try to recover from the impact that you had on that one night. Okay, so we've talked about the problems. Now, how do we fix it? Because you can fix it. Really, the best way to fix things is to prevent it. If you're someone who doesn't drink, it's simple. Don't start now. Just don't start. It's cool. You don't need to drink, and you can stay shredded while all of your friends are getting drunk. problem solved. But if you are like the vast majority of people and you want to be able to drink, you can do it too, as long as you don't do it in excess. So tip number one is to stay hydrated. Hydration will help your body actually flush out a lot of the toxins, and it will help you stay clearer minded. So what you should do is actually to hydrate between your drinks or even before. What I often suggest is to have some sort of low calorie like electrolyte drink like Gatorade or like Pedialyte Advanced Care, something that's sugar free because we don't need excess calories, and you sip on that between each drink. That way you're staying hydrated and you're not bombarding your liver the entire time. Plus, it's a great way to prevent hangovers, and hangovers are the reason that you're not going to go train. So if nothing else, even if you get drunk that night, it's going to help you feel better the next day. So make sure to hydrate. Number two is to eat before you drink. Now, I mentioned that eating before you drink doesn't do a whole lot for your body composition. But actually, if you start your day of drinking with a high protein meal with a little bit of fat and moderate carbs, you will absorb some of the alcohol, right? It will help prevent that hangover again, and the high protein and moderate fat content will allow for satiety and prevent you from binging on stupid stuff later. If you eat a full meal properly before you drink, you're more likely to be able to control your cravings than if you go in, you're completely dehydrated or you're fasted, and then you're having foods that just make you feel really upset, and your body's going to crave all of these salty, fatty carbs to immediately soak up the alcohol. The best thing you can do is to eat something very simple, clean, like some chicken, rice, and avocado before you start drinking. It's gonna make things a lot better, trust me. Now, the third thing that you can do is to make smarter drink choices. And what I always suggest to people here is to go straight for the hard liquors or glasses of wine. The glasses of wine can be tricky depending on which one you get, because you don't always know how many calories are in that exact wine. Some wines have a little bit higher sugar content, depends on fermentation, etc. So wine can be a little bit tricky, but in general, I would just go for dry wines. Dry, red, or white. Really avoid the sweet wines or the pink wines. Those tend to be like really high calorie for some reason and very high in sugar, which also makes them the best tasting, but we don't talk about that. So in addition to the wines, then you want to stick to your hard liquor. And the rule here is usually that one shot is equal to 70 to 100 calories depending on what type of alcohol you're drinking. So you're probably saying, well, I don't just want to take shots all night because I'm going to get drunk. Okay, so here's the key. Use 0-calorie mix-ins. You want to use things like Diet Coke, like flavorings. You can use those like Mio squirt packs. In a pinch, you could also even mix your Gatorade, 0 sugar, with whatever vodka or whatnot you're drinking. It sounds disgusting, but in a pinch, it'll do. You can get away with it. If you're really that hell-bent on having something to mix with, then go for it. Other easy mix-ins include having tonic water and like a pinch of lime. You could have some sort of 0-calorie syrups. There's really endless ways for you to discover how to make this stuff taste good without adding a bunch of calories. And the last tip is going to be to plan ahead for your late night cravings. Do not be lazy and think that you're going to figure out what to eat when you come back at midnight and you're starving. Have healthy foods available and make the healthy choice the lazy choice. It doesn't have to be this perfect, clean, keto, paleo, whatever. It just has to be high protein, low calorie, and fit your macros. Give you something enough to kind of quell those cravings just so you can go to bed. All you want to do is come back, go to bed. The moment you start rummaging around in the refrigerator is the time you're going to end up messing up and binging on your diet. Your cravings are high, your inhibitions are low. It's a recipe for disaster. So plan your meal ahead of time, don't be lazy, and it'll make things a whole lot easier. Now, before we end, I have to mention overall that drinking in moderation is key. There is no amount of planning or calories in, calories out, or high protein foods or low calorie mix-ins that will save your physique if you are consistently going out and drinking to excess. There is no possible way. It's going to tank your hormones, it's going to tank your sleep, it's going to tank your performance. Your physique will go to garbage as quick as it can. So the key here is moderation, and what I suggest is to limit yourself to 2 to 3 drinks, maybe twice a week. That is the maximum end that I would suggest going for. If you can get away with less, then get away with less. The lowest amount of alcohol that makes you happy is the best amount to stick with, because otherwise it's just going to mess up your goals. So try to save your drinking for special occasions or weekends and keep it in moderation. Otherwise, just focus on recovery and consistency. So those are the big reasons why alcohol is so terrible for your physique and what you can do to make sure that it doesn't mess up your progress. Comment down below, do you drink, and if so, how has it impacted your body composition? And if you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button so you can stay up to date when I post new content. Remember to drink responsibly, and I'll see you in the next video.